Hello, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm going to be working on a monthly hop that we do on the 25th of each month. This is Christmas in August, since it's August, and I am going to be using my combination of Vicki Boutin Christmas collections. It is Warm Wishes and I forgot the other one. Let me see if I have a name. Warm Wishes and Evergreen and Holly. I do have last year's collection. I have not dug into it either because I've been trying like a crazy person to finish this one off. I do not have a single sheet of 12 by 12 pattern paper left. I thought this might be still a 12 by 12 sheet. It is not. I've taken a piece of it off. And I have one of this Warm Wishes specialty sheets left. And I thought I might open that and dig into that tonight. We will see. I also have a bunch of these chipboard stars. I found these packs of chipboard stars for like $3 at Tuesday morning before they all shut down. And so I have, I don't know, I think I bought like 5 or 6 total. And so I have a ton of these. But you know, with some of the colors, I use them on other layouts, not just Christmas layouts. I have some pictures here. This is when my son, Garrett, was deployed. There are 5 photos from his team, platoon, unit. I'm not sure how that goes. But they sent these photos out to family members. This whiteboard just says Merry Christmas from the boys of Fox 41. And then it says something about the last stand and has a bunch of little Christmas icons on it. But I have a bunch of photos of them being silly. This is my son. This is my son. Here and here. And so I am going to be scrapbooking these photos. These photos were taken in December of 2016. I have some of the 6x8 paper sitting here on my desk. I have the alphas and then some of the phrases and some of the stickers, some of the puffy phrases, just a whole bunch of die cuts and stuff to play with. I thought I might get a bunch of the die cuts used by doing some layering. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. We're going to get started on this layout. I'm not sure how many of these stars I will be putting on here, but I pulled several sizes out just in case I decided I needed to use them. But I'm going to go ahead and get started and I will be right back. Okay, I've been hanging on to these borders that I cut off a full sheet for quite a while, and so I'm going to take off the rest of the branding strip from each side, and then I am going to do a little bit of tearing. So this first one, I'm going to cut off the edge, the grid edge, because it's going to go flush on the right hand side. On this piece here, I'm going to tear it off because I want torn edges on the inside border. And so I'm only putting adhesive along the edge. I'm leaving enough room to tuck in another piece. So now here is where I'm going to tear off another little section on this side so that I have matching borders on each side. They're not quite the same length, but that's okay. It looks well in the end, and I'm hoping that everything will go together the way I have it in my head. My next step is going to glue down this piece. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of adhesive off the edge because I want to do some tucking. Now this particular piece here, I'm just going to cut in half, so it'll be 6 by 11 inches, I believe, or 6 by 11 10 3/4 or something like that. And I'm just going to cut it in half, and I'm going to adhere those in the middle of my craft cardstock. This craft cardstock is just a cheap craft cardstock I got at Walmart. I think their brand that they have is Colorbach. I actually like this one. It's pretty thick, and it's a richer color than some of the name brand craft cardstock, so I kind of prefer this one. The only thing I don't like about it is because it comes in a paper pad. It's got like a strip at the top that is perforated. And this particular set of 2 pieces, you can't really see it. And the reason why that really matters to me is because when you cut off the, to make it 12 inches, you leave a little bit of the perforation on the paper, but again, you can't really see it. So what I'm doing next is I'm just tearing off an edge of this specialty paper, and I'm going to tuck it under those first borders, and then that gives me a nice little double border there with lots of colors to choose from. Because I don't have much of the 12 by 12 paper, or any of the 12 by 12 paper left, I was hoping to use up these 6 by 8 sheets, and in the end I just decided not to use those, and so I'm going to take them off here in a minute because they just don't work. And so I'm sorting through the photos. I know I'm only going to use 4 of them, and so I'm sorting through the ones that kind of tell the story the best. So I turned it over, thought, well, maybe I will mat the focal photo. Nah, I just don't really care for it. So I just take those off completely, and I'm going to end up not matting the photos at all because I'm going to do a lot of tucking and layering behind the photos with those ephemera pieces, as I mentioned. So that little phrase says friends. It is from Elle Studio. It ended up in this Vicki Boutin pile of Christmas stuff. Not sure how or why, but it is. It's the same color, so it's going to go on this layout because, hey, why not? Now I'm just going to start the layering process. I'm starting with tags, and then I have this cut apart card that I had partially used on another layout. I've been trying to use that and that black piece with the creamy stars on it. I've been trying to use those up for a while and haven't been successful, so quite glad that they get on this paper and get out of my project cart where I keep this collection out so that it's fresh in my mind to grab it when it's time to do Christmas in whichever month we're currently in. And I think next month I'm probably going to have to really buckle down and use that 6 by 8 paper pad so that I can get this collection gone. I know that I'm going to have a ton of leftover embellishments, which I'm not really going to complain about that because sometimes when you get a collection you don't get enough embellishments, but Vicki Boutin really puts out the embellishments, and you get lots and lots of choices to play with her collections. And I am hoping to hate her new Christmas collection. I know that I believe she shared that on her YouTube channel on Friday. I'm not absolutely positive that's the right day, but I know that I saw an announcement from her that she was going to be sharing an unboxing of that new Christmas collection. I did not watch it, so I'll have to go back and just look at pictures another time. So still kind of playing around with layering the tags and the different little things that I have here. I've got tickets and stamps and little journaling cards and other pieces of ephemera that I just really want to get used up so that I have less next month to play with. Isn't that how that works? And so I'm pretty happy with the cluster that I'm building on that lower right hand side. That is going to be where my journaling is, and I know that it covers up that pine bough pretty much, and I'm okay with that. It kind of peeks out the top and the sides, and that's fine. That makes it kind of a visual, it makes it visually interesting. So now I'm going to pull out these stars and see if I can't get some of those on here. I start with what I pulled as the medium-sized ones and layering up 3 different sizes. I'm not going to leave all those little ones there. I'm still in the process of deciding what I'm using. And so I pulled in that large star with the text. I really like that star. I wish they had some smaller ones too, but I decided I would go ahead and use that large star up because I have a lot of the large ones left over. If I don't start using them, then I'm not going to have a place to put them. So I'm going to add a couple other stars. I'm going to put that 24 in there and just let the black and white thing poke out. I do have another one of those because I ended up with 2 sets of that pack of ephemera somehow. And so I have plenty of pieces if I want to use them in their whole, like the tags with the pretty icons and stuff on them. I still have duplicates of many of them, and so to me this was just a way to get rid of some of the duplicates. I'm going to call this Boys of Fox 41. That is I'm going to just call it unit. It might be platoon. My husband's Army. My son is a Marine. They have different acronyms, different lingo for both branches, and I'm sorry, my brain doesn't keep up with all of the crazy acronyms and stuff. And so I'm just going to call it Boys of Fox 41. It might just be his platoon. I think that's what they call it in the Army, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. Now I'm just going to be looking at these puffy stickers and trying to decide how many more of those I might get put on here. And I do end up using quite a few of the phrases. I know somewhere I end up putting worth sharing. I believe that ends up in my journaling cluster over there on the right. And like I said, I'm really happy with the way that journaling cluster turned out. And so it'll look a little bit different once I get it all glued down. Right now things are just kind of laid out while I make decisions on what goes where. All right, I finished my layout. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Off camera, I added some twine bows. There are 6 of them in total. I did add a couple of more stars, one here and one here. I moved this where I had Christmas moments up here. I moved it over here onto this star, and I also added this little banner piece with a star to point out my son in the first photo. I mean, I know who my son is, but you know, I thought it'd be good to point him out. I also have my ring light currently off, and so if it looks a tad dark, that's why, but I was getting a really bad glare on these photos, and I wanted you to be able to see the layout without so much glare. I popped a few things up on Fun Foam, this Let's Be Merry and Friends, and the envelope over here is on foam. The rest of it I just glued down. I did make sure I glued down my title with some wet glue. I used Scotch No Run Tacky Glue. I have that on an Amazon Subscribe and Save, so I get it as quickly as I need it. I use that one the most. Other than that, I think it's all done. I'm pretty happy with using up a lot of the pieces that I pulled for this layout to layer up underneath my photos since I didn't mat them, and I am happy with how this turned out. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who are taking the time to like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. If you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe. I do love to interact with you, so if you have any comments or questions about this layout, just drop them below, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click that button. There's a bell down there. You can click that and YouTube will notify you by email whenever I put out new content. My goal is to put out new content between 2 and 4 times a week. I don't know if you're new to my channel, you may not realize that I moved back in May and June were really sporadic. I have stuff on my channel for those 2 months, but not as much as I normally do because of the move. So, but now that I've got my house unpacked, my room is usable, I'm back to my regularly scheduled times. So I do put out a video weekly called Scrap Lift Crafternoon, and I participate in several other hops throughout the month. Make sure you check that description box below. There will be a list of participants who are hopping along with Christmas in August. You're going to be amazed at the amount of wonderful creative Christmas layouts that you see, and I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.